Hey everyone, welcome back. Thank you so much for joining me. If you're new here, hello, my name is Jasmine. I am a colored pencil artist. I specialize in realism and I love drawing mostly pop culture characters. So if you like watching that, be sure to like and subscribe and turn on your post notifications because I am back in the routine of uploading. I know sometimes it's kind of monotonous, but I decided to start doing some voiceovers to make them a little bit more interesting. Let's get into it. So as you know, I've been working on this Barbie drawing for a little while. I just work on it here and there, so I have not gotten as far as I would like to get. I just wanted to show you guys some more progress. I haven't gotten as far as I would like to because I work all the time, but in the last week I've made a lot of progress, so I decided to start doing some voiceovers for it, and you can see the slowed down version of what I am doing before I actually upload the full time lapse of this piece once it's finished. And I'm just going to be doing some voiceovers for the next few videos just so I can get kind of caught up. I'm just going to be talking a little bit about my channel in general and some projects to look forward to over the coming months. And then once we transition back into working on the Aquaman drawing, I will upload some more voiceovers. I do have a lot of information to cover for those because there's just a lot that's going into the drawing process. I've been working on that on and off for the last few years and it's been an interesting process. I also wanted to talk a little bit about my channel. So I do want to start doing some more tutorials, maybe either like critiquing my followers' art or something along those lines, or like covering weird art news. So leave a comment and let me know if you have another idea or if that would be something that you're interested in watching instead of just time lapses. To me, those get kind of boring, so I know they're probably kind of boring and monotonous for you guys to watch. To me, like, I've been working on the same drawing for 2, 3, 4 months and then I'm tired of looking at it. So this first piece, I haven't decided what I'm going to call it yet, but I do know that the title of my series of drawings is called Manufactured. It's mostly about Barbies and how there's like a manufactured standard of beauty that people really put on Barbies and other toys in general that replicate humans, and I think that's kind of ridiculous. Leave it to humans to put a humanistic standard on a toy. So this is the vellum bristol. It's 4-ply vellum bristol that I've been using for the first piece. Like I said in my last video, I'm probably going to be going back to the plate bristol. I feel like I'm just more familiar with it. Although I do really love the appearance of how this is looking on the vellum bristol. I feel like it's super opaque, which I love, but it's a lot more effort, and I don't know if it's just me being lazy. Probably. I'm quite a lazy artist sometimes. So on this piece, I'm using a lot of dark browns, oranges, and burnt ochre, as well as burnt sienna to really get the warm tones in, and then I'm going in with a very pale, I think it's a 10% burnt ochre, but it looks like a very, very pale pink. It's a little bit different than some of the darker burnt ochre shades because the darker ones have more of an orange undertone. This one is kind of like a cool pink undertone, but it's really helping me to get the highlights on her cheeks. And then in the next video, I'll show you how I colored her eyes and some of the hair in the background. This one is a little bit of a challenge because the face is closer to the camera, but the hair is so far back that my eye keeps wanting to focus on the definitive shapes of the hair rather than just letting it be blurry. So when I'm working, I have to make sure that I don't make too sharp of lines for the hair so that the face stands more in the foreground and the hair stays in the background to set it because it's back in space. So that is one little challenge I am running into, is just because of my own eyeballs, and I'm so used to doing very detailed work that when I have to color like a blurry background, my eye really wants to focus on the shapes in the background that really aren't there technically. I would say a few tips for working on miniature drawings like this would be: one, to keep your pencils very sharp so that you can get super defined lines and have a nice contrast between the skin, for example, and the hair, and just to work slowly and work in small areas so that you can keep it a uniform color, keep the appearance very uniform. When I originally shot these pictures, I was using my video light, and then I had a little tracing table, and then I put that inside of a light box. So when I was shooting the dolls for this, I was trying to pay attention to the light and changing that to make sure that it was evenly lit on all sides so that the details wouldn't get too lost. And I believe I shot this with my 50mm lens. I could be wrong. The tracing table came in handy because I could prop the dolls up on the table, and then I had my video light shining, and then I think I had 2 other lights on, so I wanted to make sure it was super well lit, even though in my office at the time it had a large window and there was a lot of daylight, I wanted to get as much light in as possible so that when I had to translate it to paper, I could get as many details as I possibly could because the subjects are so small. So to get a lot of detail, you have to really make sure that you pay attention to the light that you're using to shine on the subject, because it is essentially a still life drawing. In some way or another, it's a still life drawing, only it's a photo of an object. For the background, I am using the Payne's Gray 30%. It's a muted blue. I wouldn't say it's a super pale blue. It's more of like a medium blue. That's why it's the 30% one. These are Caran D'Ache Luminance pencils. A lot of their shades, they have like a percentage so you can see. I think for those, the percentage is I think it's the darkness, like the tone, not the tone. Yeah, I think it's the tone. You can have like burnt ochre 10% or burnt ochre 30% or 50%. The higher the number, the more pigmented it is. There's more color in that. It's a little bit more saturated. Usually the 10 and the 20% shades, those are really good for highlights. Although you could use the darker shades and just add a lighter color like a beige or buff titanium or white just to brighten the color up. If you really know how to mix colors very well, that would be very easy for you to do. I don't like buying a lot of different pencil colors because I just don't like it, and I already know how to blend colors. I don't buy too many shades of things. You can usually look at a color and figure out how to mix other colors to make that color, even if it's a really unusual shade of something or unusual hue of something. So far, this appears to be kind of lifelike. Up close, it does look kind of weird, but if you stand at a distance, it actually looks a little bit more realistic. I still have a lot of white paper to fill in, obviously, but even where I have colored, where the white paper is still showing through, I have a lot to fill in to make it a very solid color. I still have to figure out how I'm going to do her hair because the hair is like in twists and it's a little bit weird to draw because like you're kind of drawing individual strands, but you have to draw it in a way that it's like twisted. It's kind of, I don't know. It's kind of challenging. We'll have to see how that goes. That's not a normal hair type that I draw. Like dolls. On dolls, it's different. It's really weird, and it has like an artificial sheen to it that human hair does not usually have. But that's it for today. Thank you for watching, and be sure to check out my website. I do sell a lot of artwork. If you're looking to get gifts for somebody, I would say art is a great gift. Or if you're looking to redecorate your office or your workspace, I would say buying art to hang up and make the room have a different feel. My website is jasminebakerart.com. I am also available for commissions. I will leave all of that info in the description, and you can check out my last videos here, and there is also a link in the description for my second channel. I do movie and TV commentary as well as story times. Thanks so much for being here, and I will see you guys next time.